Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deborah. Thanks for joining me. And today I'm talking about sewing to sell, and I have questions. The first question I have is about age. Am I too old to start a business? I'm not imagining that this is going to be a massive business, so I don't think I'm too old. Just for reference, I'm 68. I'm fast heading towards 69 just before Christmas, but I'm feeling really good. I have had quite a few health problems in the last 4 years, but I seem to be through all that now, so I'm not sure that age should be a factor in this decision. The next question I've got is, do I have the tools? Now, I certainly do have. I have two machines, quite good machines. I have my Janome Memorycraft. I also have, which you can see in the background, a Juki, which is, I've had that for about a year now, so fairly new. I have an overlocker as well. It's a Janome. I don't use my overlocker, or serger, I think they're called in the US. I don't use that nearly enough. And so this might be a good opportunity to actually make use of that fabulous machine. From that perspective, I think that I have all the tools that I need. My next question is, do I have the skill? And you would think that after sewing for more than 50 years, I should have the skill. I rush things and I know that, so I really need to slow down if I'm going to sew to sell. I'm good at sewing for myself, but sometimes I cut corners because I'm in a hurry, and I know that if I sew to sell, I'm really going to have to slow that process down a fair bit in order to make the product something that I would be proud to sell. My next question is why? So why do I want to start this sew to sell business? Well, my reasoning behind it is that I'm really enjoying my sewing lately, and I make quilts. I've been making quilts for about 15 years now, and I sew. I used to sew all my own clothes and all the kids' clothes when they were little. I don't do sew clothing anymore, but I do still like to sew. And you can only use so many quilts and so many bags and things like that. So I thought that rather than just them sitting around and not being used, I would actually sew with a purpose and try and sell them. The next question is what? So what am I going to make? Well, I'm probably going to make things that other people make. I'm certainly, not going to suddenly come up with a brand new idea. So I'm going to make bags and zipper purses and tea towel hangers and book sleeves and things like that. I do have a list of things that I would like to make. And I'm I guess my point of difference is that they're sewn by me. So when you're thinking about selling stuff, you have to look at what is unique about what you do. And so I guess within the sewing area, it's because I made it, and I'm not going to sew it like other people. I might use different fabrics, I might use different techniques, but I guess that's going to be the point of difference for me. My final question is where? So where am I going to sell these things? Well, I'm going to sell them online. I have done markets in the past, and they take a lot of work and a lot of energy to do markets, especially if you're by yourself doing them. So I decided that I'm going to sell them online, and the where is on my own website. Now, I have created a website, and I have a number of websites that I update and maintain and create. I have a technical background, so I have the ability to do that. I did have an Etsy shop. I've had an Etsy shop for, many years, way, way back when, I think 2012 or something, my Etsy shop goes back to. I did consider reopening that, but the fees and charges are really too much for me on low-end products. So when I'm talking about a low-end product, I'm talking about something that maybe I want to charge $5 or $7 for, but if I put it through Etsy, I would probably have to double that to pay the fees on Etsy, because the fees on Etsy are not just about the product, they are also about the postage. So if I'm selling something for $7, let's use that as an example, and I'm posting it, now I would post it with tracking, and most people like to pay by PayPal, and therefore you need to have tracking if you're selling things through PayPal, then I would have to add a lot on, because the fee that Etsy calculates is on the whole $19, not just the $7 that I'm selling it for. On top of that, you've got the PayPal fee, and that is on the same amount. It's on the full amount, not just the amount of the item that you're selling. And so it becomes a bit difficult on Etsy to sell and make money. Yes, on low-end items. I think if you're selling larger, more expensive items, that would be fine. But on a low-end item, by the time I pay the listing fee and then the sales fee and all the other little fees that they have, it does become quite prohibitive. And I have done the calculations on it, which is why I've decided not to sell on Etsy. I could also sell on Facebook in a group or on Facebook Marketplace. I don't want to do either of those two things either. I have set up a website for myself, which I've had for a long time now, but I've revamped it and I've put my products. I'm currently doing a big de-stash of my craft products. So I've got lots of items on there. I think 200 and something items on there that I'm de-stashing. I have sold a lot too, but I keep adding more as I'm finding things to sell on that shop. So I will be selling my sewn items on that shop as well. And I'll give you a look at that now. So this is my website that I've designed, and you can see I've got items across the bottom here. These are my de-stash craft items, and I've put a couple of things up already. So if you click in here, then you can go and have a look at what I've done. And I've got some hanging tea towels. So I've only got a couple of items up. I've got a fair bit left that I want to sew and that I have to sew. But that's how the shop front works. It's just like any shop. And I've done it myself, as I said, using WooCommerce as the basis. I also have some frequently asked questions that you can click on and have a look at. And they're all there, down through there. And then, of course, you can also do your products here. So you can choose what you want from this product list here, or you can search for a product here. The other thing that's on this site is my YouTube video index. I do have to update it, but you can select a category that you want to look at, and it will bring up a list of the YouTube videos that I've done that come under that category. Currently, I have 493 videos on this list. I have about 600 and something videos on YouTube, so I do have to import the list again so that I can have all of the videos on here that I've done. And here's the videos there that you can click on and have a look at if you wanted to. And you can either watch them on here or you can have a look at them through YouTube. So that's how that works if you're looking for any of my videos and you want to have a look at the index. The link to the shop and the link to the YouTube video index are on my YouTube channel in the description if you're ever looking for those. Currently, I'm only selling Australia-wide. I do hope to expand that once I get going, and I would hope to go even to the US. I know there are some difficulties with the US at the moment. Not difficulties, but you do need to have different codes and things in order to pay the tariff. You've got to engage a third-party company. I've set up my information for that. I just haven't finalized that, but I will be doing that as soon as I get some more products up. I'm guessing probably after Christmas, because we're fast heading for Christmas, so I probably won't start shipping outside Australia until post-Christmas. I hope that you found that informative, particularly if you're thinking about starting your own sew to sell business. I'm sure that there's room for everyone, and I think that it's good to be creative and do something every day creative and do things that you're passionate about. So I will catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Deborah. Cheers.